Oh, what's up, guys? I'm sorry, my mic is off. Yeah, sorry. I had to get tossed set up. We're here. Um, what's up, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, guys. Y'all should be able to hear the music. Yeah, so Nvidia did bounce back a little bit today and needed it. You can see the Q is still down on the trend, but had a slightly green day yesterday. It wasn't like a crazy green day or anything like that. Today we got the non-farm employment change data, which is actually a pretty big release. Let me get a timer for that because that actually comes out in like less than an hour. So this comes out in 50. Yeah. 50 minutes. Hey, what's up, Beach, Matthew, Rowe, AV, Man, Vita, Just, D, Oro, Tack, Ed, Cap, Joseph, Cole, Sam, Raz, Nick, V, Joseph, Sky, Rocco, Cover It, Lost and Found, Margin, Steve. All right, guys, but the NASDAQ is down today. So Apple is slightly green, not very green, but a little green. Here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is a little down today. Probably because no one really wants to short into this oversold. That's possible. Let's talk about the news. I'm switching my browser up a little bit. I don't know. Alright. Something went wrong. What? So I'm trying to log in here. And it won't let me. Weird. Try again. There we go. Alright, we're in there. I wonder if it's going to run faster on a different browser. Let's try it. Let's hit you with the big news today. So the news today, guys. Again, markets. I like it. As of today, Wednesday, March 5th, stocks and futures are experiencing fluctuations influenced by recent tariffs and economic developments. The SPY is trading at 577, roughly down 1.2%. I don't think the SPY is really down that much. Yeah, SPY is actually a little green, but I guess they're talking about this 576.86 level. SPY closed yesterday at 576.86, which was a little down from its previous close. Dow Jones stands at 425.57. It's actually dropping a little bit more than this. It's at 42,689 now, so 42. A little bit higher than it was, but yeah. NASDAQ declining a little bit. So today we have the ISM services, I think, is today, right? Let me make sure. I know we had ISM manufacturing on Monday. Yeah, we got ISM services data. today at 10 o'clock. That's probably today's biggest report is ISM services, believe it or not. We also have the ADP non-farm employment change data. It's expected at all right, so we got this update. I'm going to put the non-farm employment change expectation. It's expected at 148K and drops live here at 8:15 a.m. Yep. So there we go. We got 45 minutes until that drops. This might move markets. Factory orders. We got jobless claims tomorrow. Yeah, what's up, Carl? Is the music too high? What's up, Faye? Yeah, big data Friday is real. Does the market rebound by the end of this week is going to be our poll question. Vote on that poll. Let me know what you guys think. Does the market rebound? Yeah, so again, the Dow at 42,690s. Ooh. Oh no, man. Yeah, pawn, be careful, bro. I certainly don't live off of my trading, that's for sure. I don't ever claim to, you know. I think I gotta buy some more RAM for this computer. Yeah, we're kind of at this unknown level here. I don't really know if we're gonna keep dropping or what. All right, guys, we got non-farm employment change dropping in 44 minutes. 44 minutes. Again, the news this week, let's talk about it. All right. So we got ISM services at 10. We got payrolls this Friday. The president confirmed implementations yesterday of 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, along with additional 10% duty on Chinese imports. This makes the China import duties 20% total. This escalation has heightened investor concerns about trade wars contributing to market volatility. Treasury yields, when we take a look at treasury yields and we put up T and X here, they did rebound a little bit yesterday. So they are back up some. So they did bounce back a little bit. Target shares have dropped by 3%, currently trading at 117. Tesla shares are down 4.4%. If we take a look at Tesla at 276.50s, they hit lows of 272 though, 4.4% from the previous day. They're bouncing up a little bit this morning though, but they did hit these lows right at the end of the day yesterday. And then Nvidia shares have gone up a little bit. They're at about 117s now, which is definitely better than they were. Nvidia was all the way down at like 108s. Very weak spot. It opened up the day at about 110 yesterday. So this rebound is needed, especially for microchips and Nvidia. That's a bonk. All right, guys. We got gold up there at 29.50s. Dodgers debut. Roki Sasaki striking out 5. Bro, the Dodgers are so stacked, bro. It's honestly unfair. Like, I like Shohei Ohtani. I'm glad to see that man win a ring and all that. But, dude, they're too stacked, bro. They're like the Yankees. Like, I can't root for the Yankees. I just can't. Like, I'm rooting for the Red Sox every single time if they're going against the Yankees. You know? They're just too stacked. Like, well, you know, they got too much money floating around over there in Cali and in New York, you know? NFP is not today. We got the prelim NFP data called the non-farm employment change in 40-something minutes. 41 minutes. Hey, bruh, does non-farm affect gold prices? Probably to a certain extent, it does. We don't know how much, but I'm sure it affects it at least, you know, at least a little bit. Buying wins, yeah, for sure. Your YouTube headline says it drops today. My YouTube headline, let's read it together. Can we? Can we read it together? It says non-farm employment change NFP data 8/15. So again, today's data is prelim NFP data. So it's called the non-farm employment change. It drops at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Tune in here, guys. 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Expectations, as you can see on this big yellow letters here, is 148K. My headline does not say NFP non-farm payrolls drop. They say the non-farm employment change, basically the prelim NFP data. I had to shorten it. You know, you'll be all right. It seems like you're just trying to find something wrong, and that's okay. Cheers to you, bro. Yeah, ADP is a payroll company that deals with private companies. They released their numbers today. Yeah. The difference between NFP data, the actual NFP data, this is the prelim NFP data is what I call it, is that this deals with only private companies, as the non-farm payroll report deals with government payrolls. And a lot of people watch government payrolls to see the influence they have on the economy and market. And so basically, Fridays is a little bit more important than today. Today's is one-dimensional look at payrolls. Yeah, all good, Nate. No worries, bro. Where's Bitcoin at? Has Bitcoin tried to bounce back yet? The last time I saw it was at 85K. It's back to 90K, bro. Bitcoin is so volatile, man. I think 90 is a win for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can stay over 90s, I think that's a win for Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin can stay over 90. I think that's win. I think the psychological milestone level of 90 makes sense. Yeah, I mean, 0-day to expiry options are basically gambles, though, Shanta. I mean, you got to understand, the shorter time frame anything, the more risky, the more variance, the harder it is to make money consistently, the more gambly it is, basically. Like, the shorter the time frame, the more gambly it is. And that includes day trading, right? So day trading is the most risky form of investing for sure. And if we're looking at options that expire daily, the riskiest, most gambly form of options. That's kind of how it goes. I would just be very careful trading. Do you think today's data will move the market before the open? It might not. We don't know. John Wire yields going up again. I don't know. I think the correlation is probably something like this, which is that all the economic weakness we sustained over the past few weeks is making people less optimistic regarding the economy, and that's making yields go down. And so when we have more optimism regarding the economy over the last 24 to 48 hours, we have green action in the market. We've got the president speaking, saying all this stuff. I think people are interpreting that as positive for the economy, and in that regard, yields are increasing a little bit. But don't get it twisted. Like, yields are still down. Here's bond yields, right? This is the drop yields have sustained. And so yields have done a very similar thing to like stocks in that regard. Yields have done a very similar thing to stocks in that way, right? Like, here's yields. And yields have decreased a lot with the NASDAQ. Like, here's the NASDAQ. And then we've got this little baby bounce right here. And we got this little baby bounce here in the NASDAQ. It's a similar thing. They basically dropped. Basically, the bounce back that we had yesterday is not super significant. It's just a little bitty rebound bounce. John, do you think income tax season influences the market? I don't know, man. Maybe. Yeah, no, I get it, man. I'm not even agreeing or disagreeing with it, Messi. I'm just saying, like, I think, like, it's not like yields are flying today. Yields are up, but they're not up like a crazy amount. So, like, yields are up, but they're not, like, breaking all-time highs, rather. You know, they're green. You know. If I type in 10-year yields here, let me take a look at some 10 years. Yield's currently at 4.23%. So they're up a little bit, but they're still down huge amounts over the past few years, or over the past few weeks. You know, Bitcoin again looking really nice this morning. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin back up to 91s, which is good. It needs this. It really does. It needs this right now. Seasonal trends combined with budget. Yeah. Are you bullish or bearish yourself? Well, I'm not really sure. We're in kind of this no man's land spot for me. Like, I called this correction. You guys know I did. Anybody that watched my stream long enough knows that, like, in December, I told people I stopped buying. I thought we would correct sometime this year, and you know, I basically stopped myself from buying up anything, and that seems to be the right move because the market has corrected big, and a lot of big tech stocks are down. Big percentages. But at this point in time, we're down about 10% now. You know, so we're down 10%. A lot of people are going to argue it's time to start buying up stuff again. I just need a little bit more confirmation first. Like, I'm going to wait and see what happens. basically, I'm not interested in buying up anything quite yet. Although if we do get more like red action and then bullish confirmation, maybe I'll start. But for now, I'm just kind of I'm still sitting tight. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just wait and chill. We got 30 minutes left still, but yeah, I'm just gonna wait and chill. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm trying to. What do you guys think? Is it time to buy yet, or is it time to sit out? I really don't know. Again, I'm gonna wait. Part of me is just kind of like, hey, wait. You know. S&P's not 10%. Yeah, I'm talking about the NASDAQ, but. Again, whether a lot of people think it's time to buy up is going to be really subjective. I really don't know. Yeah, the market's very volatile right now, though. Like, I want to see if any data comes out. It's hard to tell. Big green move. Yeah, I'm trying to see if we got any news to pick up stuff. Again, we got prelim payroll data. Let me check the rest of the news that we got going on. We got Palantir upgraded at William Blair. A couple other things going on there. Man, what a drop. Man, market is volatile. Yeah, so we've made a little bit day trading today. I'll kind of show you this. We'll put this up on screen. This is kind of what I've been doing all morning. I'm trying to get funded in one more combine so I can have 5 total. We were shorting this most of the morning. I'll put these up a little bit. Let me try to get this candle up. So we were shorting this most of the morning, and we ended up making this big string of green. Again, we got prelim NFP data coming out soon. There we go. Let me see if we put this to the side a little bit. That's a little bit better. And then there we go. And then we'll stretch this out. Again, we got the Q still. Look at the downward trend. So we're still very much in a downward trend on the Q. I don't know what to do with this either. I'm gonna have to draw some levels. One more spike before another big drop. So y'all think basically we're going to continue down? Bitcoin's dropping down almost 90K here. I don't know what turned the market just now, but something did. And again, we got our big news today. We got prelim NFP data. Look at the market turn right now. Market's dropping significantly. Look at this big drop. Wow. And then today at 10 o'clock, we got ISM services. Is this enough to buy? I don't know yet. I mean, we have this trend, right? Like, I think everybody can mostly see this trend. So we're going down, up, down, right? Next step would be a up if we continue this kind of like this trend here. But I don't know. There's a lot of weakness showing up early. Hey, thank you, Carl. Are your levels less reliable with higher volatility? I mean, I think all levels are less reliable with more volatility. You know, like as the market moves big, it's going to break through more levels because it's got a bigger range. And so I think all levels are less reliable with more volatility. And so I'm sure that's probably true with mine as well. Speaking of that, let me draw. I don't think I've drawn any levels at these recent spots. We'll try one little guy right here. We'll probably get rid of this level if it doesn't work. Maybe we gotta raise this up a little bit too. All right. Yeah, we're gonna cut that immediately. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I think we gotta maybe look at something like this instead. We might have one like here instead. I think is probably better. I mean, we're still very green on the day. Here's the P&L. We got a nice little range to attack too. Hey, we got 30 minutes left, 25 minutes left. Sorry, I meant in general, not yours. Yeah, I think that's always the truth, though. Like, no, it's all good. I didn't think you were trolling. I thought you were just asking a question. And I think, and again, I think it's true. I think all levels are less. There's more variance and there's less reliability with levels as the volatility increases. It's kind of how it goes. Like as the VIX goes up. If we take a look at the VIX here, I'm gonna switch. I don't like Windows. I gotta put Chrome up here. I just don't like how they do it, man. They I don't like how Edge did that. Made it hard to judge. There we go, that's better. it's cleaner. All right, we got this little rejection. I wonder if that's where my level was. I don't know. We got 500 right here, but dips a rib, everyone out. Bearish pennant, kind of, yeah. Sideways is what we are. We're range bound is what, you know, I see some people mentioning it, and it's true. We're up and down and up and down and up and down. And so there's a range to attack. You could identify and attack specific levels here and do stuff like that. But it's just kind of, there's not really much of a momentum attack here. You know, it's too choppy. We're boring right now. Market's down 6%. Well, the market's down more than that. I mean, the QQQ, again, hit lows. Let's take a look. 487s. So Q hit 487s yesterday, which is the weakest it's been this whole time. 487 lows. The Q's highs were not that long ago. The Q's highs were 541s down to 487s. And so we went from 541s, we'll call it 542, down to 487. That's a 10.15% drop. Now we're back up a little bit from that, but the NASDAQ specifically is down about 10%. And that is technically a correction now. So whether we continue, I don't know. The VIX is still pretty high. I mean, it's not low. You know, the VIX is held, you know, because I think the tariffs are still looming. People are still worried, even though the VIX has decreased a little bit, which is good. You don't want the VIX super high, but yeah. I am bull, but everything looks pretty bad. Yeah, so do I. I like drawing levels, and I think levels can guide me in the trades too. Like, since I've been using levels, my trading has drastically improved. Drastically improved. You gotta, they're kind of like your guidebook in the trade. It's what you gotta use. The 200 EMA? Or what? The 200 daily average? What do you mean, Fob? Alright, guys, we still got 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I think bull is more likely, but anything can happen. I think we're extended on the downside, for sure. I think we're down a lot. Would you withdraw? Would you withdraw from the 401k for a house? It's too vague. I mean, maybe. I'm not an investment professional, though. I'm not liable if you lose. I have no freaking idea what you should do, and don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't sue me. I'm not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. With that said and out the way, maybe. Again, I don't. It depends. There's a lot of things to talk about there. Like, how big is the 401k? Are you putting a down payment for a house, or are you buying the house outright? If you're buying the house outright and you can get paid from a rental property or something like that for the rest of your life, then that's a different thing versus putting a down payment on a house to live in. You know, if it was me, if it's just a down payment on a house to live in, I wouldn't do it. If it's to buy a house outright and maybe as like an investment, that's different. Maybe that's arguable. Hopefully some quiet time after digesting tariff news. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you try to sue me, you're not going to win. I mean, we got disclaimers freaking everywhere, bro. I never give people any advice anyway, and we got disclaimers freaking everywhere. Yeah, which is the industry standard, you know. Nobody. It's kind of the catchphrase of the channel, you know. It's our tagline. Don't copy me. All right, market's still breaking down, but we're kind of sideways. We're in a range where I'm not really comfortable with taking anything here. We did make a little bit of money yesterday, I think, right? Yeah, it's just a joke. We call ourselves the top 3 worst trader ever. We tell people actively not to copy me. I mean, you know, they wouldn't win if they tried, you know. Yeah, I don't blame you, Eric. All right, guys. What's Apple doing here? Apple's still up a huge amount, man. Hit 260s earlier in the year. Fell all the way down to 220s, back up to 230s. AMD's still struggling with holding over 100. It's not looking very good. What about MU? What about Supermicro? That thing's still around $35 to $40 a share. What's the other one? We got Supermicro. Palantir, yeah. Palantir's still down big, but it's just kind of correcting with the rest of the market. Although Palantir's correction is much more profound. Much bigger. But if good numbers are down we go, and long numbers will still be bad for the market. Yeah, for sure. John, if you were attacked, would you be able to take them with your jiu-jitsu? If there's multiple people, probably not. Maybe. I definitely have a better edge than like a regular person, I think. But I'd still probably lose if it was like multiple attackers. I'd still probably get beat, you know. But I live in Texas, so I don't have to worry about any of that because, you know, because I'm in Texas. You know, that's all I'm going to say. And so, cheers to Texas. All right, we're at 20.5. Man, we were at like 22K for the NASDAQ at one point. What data do we have coming out today? We got the non-farm employment change data coming out at 8:15. We got the ISM services PMI coming out at 10. So in 13 minutes, 12 minutes really, we've got prelim NFP data. All right, so look at this bounce here. We are bouncing right around this level here. Still very choppy and sideways leading into this report. I don't know how weighted the market is to this report. But any predictions? Oof, I don't know. This is prelim data. How the market responds to it is a little bit more variance heavy. I really don't know what the market's going to do with this. Genuinely don't know. It might move. It might not move. ISM services is a bigger report today for sure. That's the report probably want to pay attention to is ISM services. No big report. I mean, services data is pretty important. Look at this volatility that we got coming in here. I don't know what this is from. I see U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick reiterating this is not a trade war. This is a drug war. When asked about tariffs on Canada, says they are going to be tariffs. End quote. I don't know if that's causing this big volatility, but look at these candles showing up, man. This is weird. Look at the big range, and now we're bouncing back quickly here. Weird. Interesting. Any stock that you guys see rebounding in a more profound way versus the rest of the market? Looking at that Apple. Look at this green action showing up. Apple. Nvidia. No. AMD. Yeah, again, I'm just quoting them. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with anything. I'm just quoting them. You got Microsoft, Meta. I know QCOM had some news, but it's not really up at all from this. So I don't know why the market's moving. Look at my range, though. This is why my support levels. Look at that. Right to a T off of it. All right, chat, 10 minutes. A little bit under that now. Really about 9 minutes left. Is Bitcoin moving? No. Mirror. Three Ninjas, speaking of that, one of the greatest movies of all time. I saw somebody, I think somebody mentioned it. I can't remember their names. One was Colt. What was the other one? It was Colt. It was like, man, I can't remember their names. I tried to rewatch it recently. My son's just too old for it now. I should have gotten it earlier. We tried to watch it. My son is like, what the heck is this, bro? It didn't age very well, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody my age knows this movie. Every boy my age especially knows this movie. All right, chat. Hey, we got 7.5 minutes left. Yeah, it was Colt, Rocky, and Tum Tum is the name. All right, guys, so we're dipping down here. We have this 480 level that we're watching, but again, we got data coming out in about 7 minutes here. 7 minutes. So my hands are off. I'm not really trading yet. We made about 500 so far. The Karate Kid movie's still great. We watch those. My son's into them. He likes Cobra Kai. He's into the Karate Kid movies. Like, we're into all of it. All right, so look, we're tapping that 480 level, bouncing right off of it. Total non-farm payroll employment rose 143,000 in January. Yeah, today the non-farm employment change data. Let's take a look at it. So again, today they're expecting 148K, 148. 30-year mortgage came in this morning at 6.73%. So 30 years dropping with bond yields, which is not a shock. ADP non-farm employment change. I'm showing actually we're expected at 141. So I'm going to update this. I'm showing 141. Last time we showed up at 183. So we are decreasing payrolls. And again, a weaker economy means more justification in rate cuts. And if we take a look at this here, so the likelihood of a pause has increased overnight. Yesterday, this was already down at 89%. Now it's at 93%, so it's gone up about 4 percentage points. And so, yeah, we're mostly going to pause on the 19th. Oh, my goodness, guys. I just realized. Here, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking, bro. I don't know why. Like, I had Wi-Fi hooked up, bro. I don't know why I had Wi-Fi hooked up. It shouldn't glitch out at all. But I had Wi-Fi hooked up. And again, look, here's my level. I said 480. Popping right at 480. Rate cuts? I mean, it's a 7% likelihood that we're going to cut rates this month. 7% likelihood. Not very likely. 93% likelihood that we're going to pause as of today. Now, again, we still got a couple weeks before the rate decision, but yeah. Yeah, happy Mardi Gras to my Louisiana friends, family. Cheers to you guys. 5 minutes, chat. 5 minutes, less than that. 4 minutes left. Bouncing right at 480 still. This is why people insult my levels. I don't know why, man. Look at this. Yeah, go Tigers. Ugh. Gotta wake up a little bit before this data. I don't think Paul's feeling very good today. I talked to him earlier. Yeah, I mean, they could surprise, but it's not very probable. You know, like for whatever reason, people always act like they're going to shock the markets and go with something that's like a 5% likelihood or a 7% likelihood. They almost never do. And for whatever reason, people just want to be contrarian and they always bet on that like it's some type of high probability thing. Everybody wants to be the guy who is contrarian sometimes, but it's unlikely. The only way we're going to cut this month is if, like, from now to then we get, like, massive economic weakness. Like, if we get payroll show up super weak, we get NFP data show up super weak, we get unemployment spiking up some, we get GDP coming in weak, that's a situation, and we get CPI show up really, really low. That's a situation where the Fed might be more likely to cut rates. But that's the only situation in which that'll happen. Outside of that, it ain't happening, you know. right, so we're starting to head up a little bit, still holding here. We got a minute and a half left, guys. 1.5 minutes here. I watched a little bit of it. It got a little bit too political for me, to be honest. You know, when both sides are standing up and kind of like looking like they're about to fight each other, I'm just kind of like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go watch something else. You know, again, I don't really root for either side. I'm just kind of neutral. All right, chat. Here we go. 50 seconds. 50 seconds. I'm going to put a 30 seconds. Be ready. Again, 141 is what I'm showing here. 141. It's pretty unlikely that we're going to get too much movement from this, but we'll see. All right, here we go, guys. You ready? 141 versus last time we showed up at 183. We got 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 77,000. Way weaker than expected. 77K. Way weaker than expected. Look at this drop. 77,000 is what we showed up as. 77K. And again, this is one of those situations where if NFP data on Friday mimics this or mirrors this, we could get more rate cuts. We could cut rates. It's possible. Now, this is weak payroll numbers. Very weak. Again, 77,000 versus 141 expected. 145 expected, roughly. 77K. Much weaker than expected. Much weaker. Now, and this is on the heels of ISM services data coming out later on today. But this ain't good. Yeah, much weaker. Wow. $77K versus $140K. Again, we got ISM services data coming out at 10 a.m., guys. Man, I mean, market reacted negatively. It popped right back up, though. Part of me wants to short this. I think I'm going to. This is a combine account, so if we fail, it's not the end of the world. We're going to short up to our 481 level. Still got some volatility from this report, and we're up 500 on the day already, so we got a little room here. The only thing I can think of is maybe the market likes this because it wants rate cuts. And so that might be a situation where yields, yeah, we're going to have to cut this, where yields go down and bond prices go up. Let's look at yields. Yields haven't opened yet today. All right, we're going to take a big swing here in this account, but we got to be ready to cut it. I want to see us reject at that 480 level, but it ain't looking good. We're still kind of flat on the day, even with the current losses, but I'd love to not have more. We break the top of this candle, we got to get out and just lick our wounds. It's a combine account, so it's not like we're actually losing 700. And again, we got a big cushion on the day too, so again, we're kind of flat right now. I'm hoping we get that flush down, but it's a little bit too much here. There we go. There we go. All right, well, we just made it all back somehow. There we we'll add to this now since we were correct. Take a little bit more off there. Get out the rest there. So this is prelim NFP data is what this is. So this is like the early, like every day, every time NFP data comes out, it releases about 2 days before the actual NFP data. Yeah, so it releases about, and look at this weakness show up. It releases about 2 days before the actual NFP data. It's called the non-farm employment change. That showed up at 77,000 today, guys. 77K, way weaker than expected. Yeah, way weaker than expected, unfortunately. Oh, it doesn't let me pull it up on both accounts. Okay, here, it's all good. I'll have to log out of this. Yeah, we actually ended up making money on that string of trades here, attacking this weakness that showed up, but man. Yeah, I mean, guys, making fun of other people for predictions, like, you know, it's not a good look, man. It just comes across as kind of like desperate, no offense. If somebody makes a prediction and they're wrong about it, like, dude, people are wrong all the time in markets. I'm certainly wrong all the time in markets. I mean, we're up over 500 on this count in the day, just to put it into perspective, but I'm wrong all the time. But you know what profitable, like, good traders and investors don't do? They don't make fun of others for being wrong. It's silly. Not unless the person was, like, really toxic to begin with. You know what I mean? All about money? Yeah, for sure. Definitely top 3 predictors ever in the world right now. I think those payroll numbers are going to freak the market out. We also have ISM services PMI data coming out later. Yeah, and so again, Friday, I wonder if this is going to influence rate decisions. So again, let's take a look. So here's the rate expectations now. I don't think this changed it much, but still 93. Yeah, still 93. So we ended up making a decent amount here. But I'm going to short this one contract. We're going to keep it small, and we're going to add to it if we're right. Add to it. There we go. Take half off. Locked out the rest. Just made $165 quickly. I'm going to cut that flat. I don't like the way it's behaving. We're up about 640 on the day. Yeah, let's not get into political arguments, guys. Like, again, either side, just, no reason to argue. Let's just keep it market focused. Yeah, ISM services PMI data at 10 a.m. is big. So again, ISM services PMI massive at 10 a.m. today, guys. And then tomorrow we got jobless claims, and then Friday we got payrolls. So it's a big week. Next week we got CPI data. but again, the non-farm data showed up at 77K, way less than the 140K expected. Previous was 183K, so you can see the decrease there, showing economic weakness. Now, this might make people that want rate cuts excited, because this, again, I told you guys, the only way we're going to cut rates is if we get really weak payroll numbers, really weak economic reports. You know, unemployment is high, inflation is low. And so if we get weak economic reports this week and then low inflation next week, the likelihood that we're going to go down in rates goes up, right? The likelihood that we're going to cut it goes up. The likelihood that the Fed's going to be more dovish than expected goes up. And again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of it. Yeah, CPI next week will be very interesting, guys. Also, we're on Top Step's funded account program today. Remember, guys, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable. If you lose, always make your own assessment and trade responsibly, guys. With that said, if you want to learn to day trade, do not fund thousands of dollars into your own account. You'll probably lose it. Let's just be honest here. Especially in the beginning, almost all day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who your mentor is, who you follow, most day traders are going to lose in the beginning. And so instead, Top Step, one of the best ways to do it, a perfect middle ground of pressure, teaches you how to trade, great way to learn. What they do is they give you a 50K demo account. It's kind of like a souped up demo account. Comes with real-time data. If you fail this challenge, you get a practice account with real-time data. So the value's there. If you were going to pay for a practice account, it would cost about the same as Top Step in some places anyway. And again, they give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit on that demo without losing 2K first, right? So it's a 3-to-2 ratio. You got to make 3K without losing 2K. Reasonable ratio. If you can do that, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, as long as you follow their rules. Now, there's a certain amount of conditions that you got to follow, and these conditions teach you how to trade. Like, you can't make more than $1,500 per day in order to get funded, so you basically got to make $1,500 one day, $1,500 the next, or make $500 in 3 days, or however spread out you want, but you can't do it in one day. You can't make all $3,000 in one day. There's some other rules you got to follow. They're pretty reasonable, and they teach you how to trade it. If you pass that test, they give you a 50K funded account with a 90% split, and they pay out millions of dollars to their traders. They fund thousands of traders. They pay out millions in actual withdrawals. They paid out almost $200 million since 2020. They fund thousands, and it's just a great way to learn. If you fail, $50, it's not the end of the world, right? Versus funding thousands in your own account and probably losing that. Let's be honest. I know I did that. I funded thousands in my own account and lost it within 3 weeks. It hurt. I almost cried. Instead, try something like this. It limits your risk. I think most day traders are still going to lose, regardless of where they go. It's a lot cheaper to lose here, and it teaches you how to trade, and it gives you a higher chance of actually making money down the line, in my opinion, because it teaches you how to trade and reinforces different things. And in the futures market, it's very similar to day trading stocks. This is why most people don't day trade futures, it's because they don't realize how similar it is to day trading stocks. I can basically day trade the SPY and Q price action. What the SPY follows is the S&P 500 futures contract called the E-mini. I can day trade it in futures. What the QQQ follows is the NASDAQ futures contract called the NQ. I can day trade it. That's what you see me day trading here, is basically the QQQ. No PDT rule. Patterns are very similar. If you want to check it out, they are an affiliate of mine. I'm one of the top 3 most biased people of all time ever in the world right now. If you want to check out the link, great way to help support the channel. Link is in the chat right now. Again, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them. Always transparent and honest, but check it out. Yeah, you just gotta have reasonable expectations for it. Like, most day traders lose, right? Like, most day traders lose. It's something that is pretty common. Markets are falling down. Look at that level tap, though, man. My levels have been holding pretty well. It doesn't mean they're going to keep holding, though. Who knows? Alright, so look at this tap. See if it continues down here. This is weak markets. So look at us tap this level. All right, so we did bounce right there. SPY will print a $10 red candle. Yeah, so I saw Lutnick announce some stuff, Lee. I did see that earlier. He basically said, something about the tariffs are, so there's a couple news reports to cover here. So the president and Canadian Prime Minister are expected to speak today, according to Reuters. So yeah, Secretary Lutnick reiterated that this is not a trade war, it's a drug war. He said when asked about tariffs on Canada, he said there are going to be tariffs, end quote. Dow goes negative, yeah. Yeah, everybody's different, Andrew. Again, I don't even claim to be a good trader. I mean, everybody's different, Andrew. I try to build up a small cushion with micros first. And the good thing about Top Step is that there's zero commissions and only a small amount of fees when you trade micros. And so I can trade small and kind of build up a tiny cushion first and then slowly kind of add more. So I can build up like a little cushion and then slowly size up and then slowly size up some more. But everybody's different. It really depends. Yeah, so look at that 403 level hold. So we did bounce directly off of that. U.S. real estate investors purchased 47,000 homes in Q4, down 3.9% year over year, the lowest level for the period since 2016, according to Redfin. What is everyone on? Come market open? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we got ISM Services PMI. I'm trying to understand why choose a prop firm when you can get margin from so many brokers. I mean, I think you got to understand, like, most day traders lose, right? And so if you go and spend thousands of dollars trying to get 20K or whatever it is in margin, that's your risk, is thousands of dollars. I think, like, new traders, almost all of them are going to lose anyway. And so I think it makes sense to try something to limit that risk in the beginning. And if you're good enough, you can then fund your own account and do whatever you want with the margin that you make, right? Or with the money you earn, and then get margin or do whatever you want with it. But most day traders are going to lose. And so I think giving traders kind of like a middle ground of pressure where they can take something, it costs about the same as a demo account. It includes a demo account, practice account. But if they do some things right, they get more cool stuff. It's kind of like a souped up demo account. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's something that traders need, because most day traders lose money. And of course, you're going to have people who are great traders, or some of them are, some of them aren't, that are going to be like, oh, well, why do you even need prop firms? It's like, well, yeah, because you make money, right? But most day traders don't, and most day traders lose. And so we can either force new traders to deposit thousands of dollars and lose that, or we can give them another option. And I think another option makes sense, and I think that's what traders need. But again, I'm an affiliate of them, so I'm biased, of course. I get paid by them, right? So, of course, I'm going to be biased in their favor. But I personally think it's useful, right? But everybody's different, you know. What are the odds of PMI being good at this point? I don't know. I think services PMI is big too. So we got services PMI dropping in like an hour and a half. That's a major report. Yeah, well, Top Step's the most legit one in the world. Like, people could say whatever they want, and they could say all this other stuff. Top Step's the most legit one in the world. They've been around the longest. They're the most reliable. People can say whatever they want outside of that. And affiliates can say whatever they want as well, because affiliates, like, you know, they're going to want to, if they're not working with Top Step anymore, they're going to act like Top Step's not the most legit. But Top Step is. And again, this is very obvious. And that's kind of how it goes, right? But again, I'm biased, you know, as well, so. Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is up. Mirror Riot are up because of it. Bitcoin's up to 90.23. All right, so we're at 460s. Yeah, definitely top 3 most biased. Really would love to know your thoughts on the views of the market for lowering interest rates versus weaker economy, and how those two will play out overall with market conditions. Well, anything that signals less inflation problems but a weaker economy is going to mean the Federal Reserve is going to be more likely to cut rates. It's called a dovish, loose, less restrictive Fed. When the Fed is less restrictive, interest rates go down. And they cut rates, they do QE, they do a bunch of different stuff, but they have to have justification for that economic stimulus, because lowering interest rates as well as like QE is economic stimulus. And so in order to have justification for it, they need the economic conditions, you know, to justify it. And the economic conditions are weakness, right? You need a weak economy to influence. Like, if the economy is weak, the Federal Reserve can step in and lower interest rates. When interest rates are low, people have cheaper access to money, because interest rates are low, so they pay less interest on loans. And so this allows them to spend more because they got cheaper access to money. And so they tend to spend more because they have more access to it, and this contributes to economic stimulus. It causes more spending. More businesses have money. They can hire more people and all this different stuff, right? And the same goes for the opposite of it. If the economy is super strong and we got big inflation problems, because the economy is so strong, so many people are buying and spending, and that's pushing prices higher and higher and higher. The Federal Reserve is going to be less likely to cut rates because there's no reason for it, because, cutting rates is going to make people spend even more, maybe, and that might make inflation even worse, right? So it's a balancing act by the Fed. You don't want them to just blindly cut rates to pander to different people. Like, you want them to do so if it's justified. And right now, if you want the Fed to cut rates, right now we're pausing rates, so we're neutral reaction by the Fed. The Fed's not really doing anything. They're just keeping interest rates where they are. And the next meeting is on the 19th of this month in March. March 19th is when the next meeting is. Now, what the Fed does then is pretty probable that they're going to pause. But if we get big economic weakness, like weak payrolls, we saw, if you look at this big yellow headline right here, NFP prelim data, non-farm employment data, showed up at 77,000, way weaker, like almost 50% less than the expected 145, or roughly what it was. So much weaker payroll prelim data, but the actual payroll numbers, the actual NFP numbers show up on Friday. That's a much bigger report than today. Very, very relevant report, might influence a lot of different things. And so Friday's payroll report is going to be huge. Today we have ISM services data. And again, we'll see what the Fed does. The Fed can raise rates and keep interest rates high and more restrictive. And, if inflation's out of control, the Fed will be more restrictive, because when you bring interest rates up, not down, people have less cheap access to money and loans, right? The interest rates are higher. And so they tend to spend less, and that can contribute to lower inflation over time. But it's a very nuanced thing. No. Wild West, I don't think they can. Yeah, I certainly don't say every day trader loses. That's silly. I don't think I've ever said every day trader loses. Acting like I've said that is ridiculous, because I've never said that. What I've said is that most day traders lose, because this is objectively true, right? Like, y'all can either want me to tell you the truth, and again, I feel like people can say whatever they want, right? And sometimes the truth freaking hurts. But I would rather be honest with you guys about what it really is. Like, most day traders are going to lose. The ones that do make money, it takes them years to learn, right? And they probably lose thousands and thousands of dollars leading into this. This is how it really goes, right? And so people can think that I contradict myself when really I don't. Most day traders lose, all right? 10% maybe make money, right? And the ones that do make money, generally, they take years to learn. And so for the profitable ones, while they're learning, you can either fund thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into your own account and pay that market tuition that way and lose boatloads of money learning how to day trade, or you could try a funded account program and lose $50 each and have some pressure, still risk something, but not nearly as much, right? I think the latter is a much better option, but it's subjective. Like, do whatever you want to do. My job is to tell you guys the truth, and that's the truth. Most day traders are going to lose. This is not a shocking revelation either. Like, everybody that day trades should understand most day traders are going to lose. But that's a much different thing than every day trader loses, is a much different thing to say, right? And it's not something I've ever said. It's a silly thing to even insinuate. But going back to the other guy's question, can a gambling addict be a good day trader? Probably not. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the decision-making ability. Gambling addicts in theory are addicted to the rush. It's going to be a very difficult thing to make money day trading at. Just like it's going to be a hard thing for them to work in finance as well. Again, I think if you're going to trade, you got to be the opposite of that, And again, I'm not even claiming to be a good day trader, right? Like, I'm mostly an economist and an investor. I like investing in economics way more than I like day trading. Do I day trade live every day? Yeah, sure. It gives me something to do. I'm not even claiming to be good at it, though. And that's the difference. Like, y'all can watch somebody that embellishes everything and tells you they're the greatest day trader of all time, definitely top 3. Or you can follow somebody that tells you the truth. Y'all can make y'all's mind up there. Yeah, gamblers are addicted to losing, right? And again, I know I'm not that as well. I've told this story a bunch, but it's true, and it's the story that I'm very proud of myself for being this way. Is that I went to the casino with my wife to play poker. We drive like 30 minutes. We go to this casino. I take out like $1,000, you know, because I'm trying to go play poker. You know, I want to play some high risk poker. I'm ready to go do that. I love poker, right? But I actually make money in poker, you know, so it's different. And so I go to play poker. Poker and trading very similar, by the way. I take $1,000 out. I get to the casino and they tell me they have no live poker. They only have video poker, and that's it. You know, and so, and again, I've got $1,000 cash. I'm sitting on $1,000 cash. And so if I was a gambling addict, bro, I would just go gamble all that money away and play slot machines and do all this different stuff. Carol and I literally walk out. I think we played 2 hands of blackjack. I made a little bit, she lost a little bit, and then we walked away completely flat. We didn't lose any money. We didn't give any money back to the casino. We didn't gamble at all. And we just kind of said, okay, and we walked away. Because I genuinely don't enjoy losing money, right? And slot machines, super negative edge, like the worst edge in the casino. You know, slot machines are for suckers, you know, and they give you all this big stimulus. They give you all these big flashing lights and graphics. You know, they got old ladies being like, ooh, look at all these graphics. And they're designed to just slowly but surely take money from you, right? I'm not interested in that, right? I don't like losing. I don't like the thrill of losing money. It's just not something I do. But you're going to have other people who are incredibly addicted to that, right? Incredibly addicted to that. And they probably shouldn't be trading at all, to be honest. They probably shouldn't be. And that might hurt to hear, but that's the truth, right? They probably shouldn't be trading. Y'all can't handle the truth. Yeah. Again, my job is to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, you know. All right, guys, markets break it down. And again, like, I run this channel. Like, the whole reason I run this channel is to be honest with people, you know. And so, like, I'm trying to tell people what I consider the truth. I might be wrong about it, but what I consider the truth is what I consider the truth. And I would rather sleep good at night and not sell a course and not pretend to be some expert day trading guru guy and you know, but sleep good at night knowing I'm being honest with people, right? And if I can discourage people from depositing thousands and instead they understand most day traders lose and they hedge a little bit with something else, then I think I'm helping them. And to be honest, most day traders are going to lose. All right, so we're bouncing right here. I'm gonna lower this line a little bit. Let's see if we can get 450s. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting. We got ISM Services PMI, though, coming out soon. Definitely top 3 gurus ever in the world right now. All right, so we're hitting that level, guys, at 20. Look at that 450 level. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. What happened to this? Look at this big candle here. What happened here? What's the market doing? I would say they're bad. I mean, it means ADP non-farm employment data showed up weaker than expected, right? So ADP monthly change in non-farm private payrolls. The difference between this and non-farm payrolls is that non-farm payrolls shows government payrolls as well, right? So it's used as a predictor of the government's NFP reports. So this is kind of like prelim NFP data. Showed very, very low numbers here. Obviously, it's weaker for the economy, less people working. So, yeah, it's probably better for inflation, South, 100%. Yeah, it's probably better for inflation, but it's weaker for the economy, which, again, those inverse each other. Like inflation and economic numbers kind of inverse each other. Something that's strong for the economy usually means it's worse for inflation and vice versa. So all right, so we're still in this very rangy like section here. I don't know whether I want to short the top of this or what, but we're still kind of in this little rangy momentum. Anything big today? ISM service is pretty big. Doesn't mean it's huge, but it's pretty big. Yeah, I had to go tell my son goodbye. They're kind of running late this morning. That's why. As soon as my wife didn't answer, I realized she was probably rushing, and so I ran over there to tell him goodbye, give him a hug, so she didn't have to bring him in here because they're running late. Yeah, the biggest problem with OpenAI ChatGPT is it lags, bro. It lags. It takes so long to get some certain things. And again, we got ISM services data coming out today too. It's big. I don't know how big it's going to be, but it's still relevant. Yeah. Yeah, so the rate cut's pretty much going to happen. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Let me know if we lag at all. Again, when I process something on AI, I can kind of see it fuzzying up a little bit. So yeah, likelihood that we're going to cut rates is now in May. It's the next rate decision after this month's. Yeah, so May. By June, it's very probable that we're going to cut at least 25 basis points by June. And that's as long as the economy stays weak, like it showed this morning. Thank you for doing these every day, John. I'm out of the market at the moment, but really enjoy watching your stream daily. Love from the UK. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it, bro. Funny that a program accesses all existing data in humanity and it's not fast enough. Well, yeah, but the problem with it is that it lags. It's not that it's not fast, it's that it lags. It freezes. Like, it freezes, it doesn't work half the time. All right, so ADP non-farm is a private sector employment report. It's released monthly by ADP, which is automatic data processing. It estimates the net job gains or losses in the private sector, which, again, the difference between this and NFP data on Friday is Friday's report shows government payrolls. It's published 2 days before the official NFP report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's typically released on the first Wednesday of each month at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. It's compiled by ADP. It's based on actual payroll data from over 25 million U.S. employees across different industries. So again, this measures only the private sector jobs, excludes government workers. It's data-driven and more volatile due to real-time payroll changes. It's an early indicator of NFP data since it comes out before it gives a preview of private sector job growth, right? That's why I call it prelim NFP data, is because that's what it is. It's kind of like the prelim NFP report. And so the Fed Reserve watches employment data closely when setting interest rates, so this is why it's relevant. So lower than expected, like today, is almost 50% lower, suggests slower job growth or a weakening economy. It could lead to expectations of a weaker NFP report on Friday. It may signal softer wage growth, affecting inflation expectations, and increases the likelihood of Fed cuts, which could boost stocks, right? This is actually negatively reacted to stocks, though, but that's what it is. It's an early gauge of private sector job growth. If you want to know what this was, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know anything about BBAI. I don't know what that stock is. Do you hate gambling addicts, John? No, I feel for them. I really do. I don't hate anybody. I really don't. I'm not sure why. What did I say makes me think that I hate gambling addicts? I might disagree with how they behave, but it doesn't mean I hate them. Like me saying, hey, doing that doesn't make sense is not me hating somebody. It's me trying to tell people. You asked me, and again, this is kind of how people play both sides, I think. Like, you asked me, do I think that they can be good day traders? And I said, no, I genuinely don't. I don't think they can. I don't think they have the discipline to do it, right? But then when I explain that, then they say, oh, do you hate these guys? Of course not. I don't hate anybody. I'm just explaining why I think they wouldn't be good day traders, which is a question you asked. So, make it make sense, I guess. Yeah, I don't hate bad day traders either. I don't hate anybody. I really don't. Recession, I don't know if this data, again, this is prelim data, and sometimes the prelim NFP report shows up super weak like this, and then the actual NFP report shows up really strong. There's not always a correlation, and it might seem like there always has got to be a correlation, and there's not. I mean, there's going to be some correlation, but what I mean is, just because prelim NFP data showed weak does not mean actual NFP data shows weak. It doesn't. Again, I've seen it where this data shows super weak and then the actual report shows super strong and vice versa. And it even shocks markets more. It doesn't mean anything yet. And we really do got to wait and see what this report shows. Because, yeah. Feels like too many reasons to be bearish right now. I don't know, man. Let me know if we're lagging at all. I don't think we are, but how can the data change like that? I really don't know. Again, we got ISM services PMI though. Yeah, we got the non-farm employment change data coming out. Big report, big stream. Yeah, and I don't know if the rate decisions are going to influence this or what, but we're still breaking down. Look at this weakness show up here, guys. So we're down to 24 fours. CPI would be a better indicator of market health since job or no job, you still got to eat. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to consider PCE data more relevant than all of it anyway, though. So I think people are going to consider PCE data a little bit more valuable than any of this anyway. So. Yeah, so the next big report, again, ISM services PMI in less than an hour. Yeah, so we're going to be day trading the opening bell live. All right. Let me catch back up here. Job numbers are always important as they show future quarter GDP predictions. 100%. Yeah, I agree. Payrolls on Friday is probably the biggest report this week. Services data is kind of look at jobs as well, so that's important at 10 a.m. But the big one, again, is at 8:30 on Friday. We also have Jerome Powell speaking on Friday. Market cracked lows for a second. Let's see if it retraces back up, but yeah, market broke lows of the day for a second. Let's see if it holds now, though. Are y'all arguing? I can't figure out what y'all are arguing about. Somebody break down the argument in chat for me so I can understand it. All right, look at this dip. Still breaking lows. Tap lows again. Nvidia's turning all the way down to 116s here as well. Bond yields are decreasing a little bit now as well, which makes sense because this data showed weaker economic report. Look at this breakdown here in markets. Chat. Wow. If we bounce up, I might short this for a second, but it's not quite a big... I wanted to short it. We just didn't. And now we're breaking down. That's all right. We'll wait. Oh, could some... Okay, yeah. Sorry, it's hard for me to watch everything and watch the market. So it's hard to tell. But, yeah. Nasdaq still flushing. Look at this. Look at this flush. Wow. Where's the VIX? VIX is pushing up. It's over 24s again. I'm going to buy this. It's kind of a risky buy here, but I'm going to play with it and buy it. We're going to add to it, too. It's a combine account, so if we lose, it's not the end of the world, bro. We'll be all right. But all right, we took half off there, made a little bit somehow. All right, we just made another. We made about $120 just now. I'll take it. Green is good. Up 750 on the day. 750. I feel like we're gonna push up a little bit higher now. All right, we're short again. Let's see if we reject off this level. All right, we just made a little $50. We could have made more too. Look at that retracement, nice. Look at that rejection here. This is how you use the levels too to guide. But all right, we're up about 800 now on this one for the day. So far, so good. Again, we got. I'm gonna put a timer up. We got ISM services data coming out today. It is a big report, to be honest. I'm gonna set this timer for a little bit early, but this is when ISM services come out right here. This looks weak, but it's like Saturday morning music in the 90s. Actual guru? Who? I'm definitely not a guru. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we didn't end up breaking down, so I guess it's a good reason I didn't short it. We didn't get a continuation after we cracked lows either, so it just depends on what picks up the market at the opening bell. We asked people, does the market rebound by the end of the week? We got over 1,300 votes. 61% say yes, 39% say no. Look at us just rip through that level. I usually buy something like this up, to be honest, right here. This big retracement, I would buy it up and see if we follow through back up. Hold off of the support level, but yeah, there he goes. Yeah. Little scalping strategy, but too late now. I'm not going to mess with it. How could the markets do good today with tariffs announced yesterday and more coming? Because the markets are not that like binary in nature. Like we can have bad tariff news, the market goes up. It's not just pure fundamentals. Market can move on a lot of different things. Basically, there's more variance than that in markets. Yeah, Yeah, so glad I didn't take this trade. I was wrong about that one for sure. Look at that. Probably a little too extended. Maybe I could buy this little pullback here. We'll try it. Definitely not looking good for me though. Kind of trading against the trend. I don't like this at all. I'm gonna just cut it, keep it small. We're still up $630. I think I'll wait. I think we could have made that money there, but it just broke down underneath the level too quickly. I don't know. I don't really like how much it's. Like I can move this one maybe to here, but I don't know if I like this level. Let me try moving it down to that. See if we can hold this now. I mean, there's the bounce. So if we would have stayed in that position, look at this bounce. We would have made it, but. There we go. We got 19 minutes until the opening bell. We got 48 minutes until ISM services data comes live. If we can use a percentage, how much percentage the tariffs can affect the overall market? It's not that easy. I wish it was, but to make those calculations, it's just not that easy. Like we've already essentially reacted to the tariffs already. It just depends on what the data shows up now, like what the economic reports show up as. Like we've already negatively reacted big to the tariff news. Like tariffs came out, we showed big negative reactions. And so like we've already negatively reacted to all of it. The question now is just what do we do with the economic reports that we get coming out today, Thursday, Friday. Next week CPI reports are big. Then we got the Fed meeting the week afterwards. So it just depends on how the market responds to all that stuff. Yeah, the Michigan labor market's difficult though, Sean. I have some family in Michigan and you know, some in-law stuff in Michigan. The job market's just not that great. Not there. So this definitely this line right here is definitely useful, but all right, market's creeping up. I should have bought that dip and held. I ended up getting scared out. I'm a huge wimp, guys. I'm a huge wimp. Look at these beautiful dogs. Look at these dogs, bro. Just the most beautiful puppies in the world, man. That's Rosie. That's Bruce. It's beautiful dogs, man. Look at these dogs. Top 3 prettiest dogs ever. All right, market's rebounded here back up. It's at 450s on the NASDAQ here. I don't know if I like it enough to short. We got 15 minutes. Honestly, Labradoodles really are sweet, dude. I heard, is it Labradoodles? Golden Doodles is what, like, my friend has a golden doodle. They're sweet dogs. I like those too. They're cool. You think Nvidia gonna rebound to 130.40? Maybe eventually. What about tax return money flowing from next week? I don't know, man. I wish I got tax return money. I got my tax return check from last year. You know how much it was? $22.65. I said this before. I've never felt more like Clark Griswold ever than when I got this check. Jelly of the Month Club. Might as well have been. Look at the market bounce back. Is this some news that we're seeing? Okay, so NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and industry visionaries are to unveil what is next in AI at the GTC 2025. When is that? I don't even know. Okay, so GTC is on March 17th. When's the when is this? When's this keynote is what I want to know. Tuesday, March 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific time is when Jensen's keynote speech is. Okay. All right, guys. So we're at 20.445s. All right, March 18th, I meant. March 18th. April 4th, retaliatory tariffs. Yeah, so again, maybe people are optimistic about it. All right, so the Mexican president, Scheinbaum, says the call with U.S. president could be Thursday morning, tomorrow morning. He says if necessary, Mexico will look for other trade partners. Apple is going to introduce the new MacBook Air with the soaring performance of the M4 chip starting at $999. The U.S. wants zero tariffs on car imports and trade deal with India and wants zero to negligible tariffs on most other sectors except agriculture, according to Reuters. All right, guys, we got 13 minutes. All right, guys, so we're still ripping back up. Part of me wants to short, but you can see NVIDIA bounce right off that previous closing price. Goldman Sachs says the German 10-year yield could lift to 3.75% in the medium term from the current 2.73%. Proposals for debt brake reform. Flip-flop. Yeah, I'm just waiting, guys. I mean, I made a little bit of money today. I'm just trying to sit tight and wait. Here, hold on. Let me see what my CPU usage is. My memory's getting used up, though. That's the problem. We'll be all right. All right, so we're going to do our x.com post as we always do here. All right, guys. So again, if you want to check out this report, so prelim NFP data showed deep weakness. If you want to check out the channel here, give me a follow on X. There's the link right there. Again, prelim NFP data showed weakness. If you want to keep reading, there's the link right there. Again, as of today, most stuff is kind of mixed. Non-farm payroll report comes out Friday. We got ISM services at 10 a.m. today. Prelim NFP data showed massive weakness at 77K. Versus 148K, 145K expected. A lot of stuff going on, but that's the big story of the day. Give me a follow on X if you haven't already, chat. I appreciate it. All right, so the UK Energy Minister says there's an urgent need to plan for the North Sea's future. I appreciate it. Yeah, download more RAM. Yeah, of course. No, I need to buy some RAM sticks. I had some in my old computer. I might be able to remove those, but I do need more RAM for this thing based off of just how much I run. I might go get that today. We'll see. Yeah, give me a follow if you haven't already. Hit the love button on the report. Yeah, no, I mean, I've added RAM sticks to multiple different computers before. It's pretty simple. Laptops and, you know. How is it possible for a stock to make a big gain or loss in an instant? I mean, are you really asking that, or is it just a hypothetical? Like, it's very easy for a stock to do that. Basically, you got to get a big surge of buys or sells coming through at any moment that influences the price of the stock. So if you get, it depends on the size of the float. So if a stock has like Nvidia, if a stock like Nvidia, which has, you know, 23 billion shares out there, if you get a, let's just put it in perspective here. Let's call it 20 billion shares. And let's say you get a $5 billion buy order coming through. 5 billion shares. So let's say somebody just hypothetically buys 5 billion shares. They're buying 25% of the float of Nvidia. That's going to make Nvidia stock bump. Like, that's going to make it go up really quickly because you got such a large percentage of the float. Let's say it's a smaller, a cheaper stock that only has 1 million shares in the float. And let's say a big investor comes along and buys 100,000 shares, right? That's 10% of the whole float. That's going to make that stock jump. Or let's say you got a big investor that is fearful. Let's say Warren Buffett comes along and doesn't like a stock that has 5 million shares in the float, and he sells 1 million shares. You know, you got 20% of the shares that just got unloaded. That might make the stock drop very quickly. And so it's very easily, basically, if you get a big drop, that means more sells are coming in than buys. Yeah, what you see on the screen right now is a futures contract, really. So it's a futures contract based around an index. But yeah, this is 100 of the largest stocks in the world. It's the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. Hey guys, we got 5 minutes. No, I don't copy trade, not really. All right, so look at this bounce here. So we did bounce right at my little level here. 420 seems to be a number. Bro, I've seen 420 on the NASDAQ, and not just on the NASDAQ, but on a lot of different areas. And for whatever reason, 420 holds. Interesting, nonetheless. All right, guys, here we go. Hey, thank you, Just Cover It. 2 a.m. here in Australia. Hey, what's up, brother? Thank you, man. Hey, sleep good, bro. Yeah, let's do this. All right, guys. Again, IM Services, a big report coming out. And again, guys, give me a follow on x.com if you haven't already. Here's the link. Check it out. If you want to check the report, it comes out live right here. Like, we're going to cover it as soon as it releases. Again, give me a follow on X. We break every single day on X. We break down all the biggest news in economics, finance, markets, stocks, finance in general. We break it all down live every single day on X. So if you want like a one-stop shop where you're going to get a full breakdown of all the major economic reports, all the stock news, all the treasury news, all the economic news, give me a follow. I appreciate it, guys. Give me a follow. Yeah, I restart my computer pretty regularly. I did restart it this morning. All right, so let's see if we're going back up. We bounced on my level here. Let's look at this top level here. This is part of the reason is NVIDIA's making moves here. Look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's going up a little bit. It's at 117s now. We got 3 minutes left. 2 minutes left, really, guys. 2 minutes. SPY's still technically green on the day. Broadcom's ripping up. All right, so we're rejecting down here. We're at 430s. All right, guys, we got less than a minute. 1 minute left. Broadcom, again, up. SPY is still green. Netflix still slightly green. Tesla slightly green. Tesla at 270s, though, still very weak. Microsoft slightly green as well. The VIX is still elevated. Volatility is heightened. Look at that resistance level right there, too, Chad. Look at that. But they say my levels don't work. Look at that level right there. All right, here we go. 30 seconds, chat. 30 seconds. We got ISM services data coming live. We got the regular services data coming out at 9:45, and then the big one coming out at 10. So ISM services expected. Let me put this up on screen here. Here's the opening bell. ISM services expected at 52.5. All right, there's the opening bell, guys. Decrease is coming through. All right, guys, we're sitting here waiting. Look at that level hold too. Palantir breaking down to 84s. Broadcom pulling back some. Still too close to the opening bell. We're only 1 minute into the open. Look at this bounce back. We're going to let the opening bell play out first here, chat. All right, so we are breaking down some here, but we're only about 2 minutes into the open. Palantir is going to be the first. Palantir is just way too extended on the upside. I told people this before this big dip happened. When something has a PE ratio of 600, there's a reason people watch PE ratios. So just be careful, guys. All right, we're 2.5 minutes into the day. You get NVIDIA turning down. It's way too volatile for me to be interested here. Look at that candle. Yeah, my hands are off, guys. This is way too volatile for me. I think we might get like choppiness too, leading into services PMI data, as well as like payroll data later this week, Jerome Powell later this week. So we just got to be really, really careful. All right, so look at this flush breakdown here, guys. Wow, NVIDIA at 115s. Again, we're really rangy here. We're kind of wicking up and down, faking a lot of people out. So I'm just gonna sit tight and I'm gonna wait some. We're about 4 minutes into the day, but I don't think right now is the time. It's like, look at these up wicks and down wicks in these candlesticks. Like there's too much. We look weak, to be honest, but the variance looks so high. I'm not really gonna try to bet any direction yet. All right, guys. Yeah, bond yields have stabilized. NVIDIA is right at this bottom area. Yeah, well, the opening bell is the opening bell. It's just the most volatile point in markets. to that candlestick. This is why I'm not messing with stuff right now. It's too rangy. AVGO just cracked lows. Netflix is bouncing up a little bit. Tesla bouncing up a little bit. Microsoft is as well. Other stocks are stagnating. Palantir's breaking down and Broadcom's breaking down. So we really are kind of like flat in terms of the opening volatility. All right, so there's a low break. Look at this breakdown here, chat. Wow. We cracked lows and we're breaking. 6 minutes into the day. Look at this red action coming through. We'll probably try to buy up our level here, but it's risky. Just made $60. First opening trade, not too bad, but difficult. I'm trying to take some size here now, to be honest. So we got faked out. I don't really like low of the day shorts like this though, so I really have to be careful. I don't want to get liquidity grabbed. I thought we were green there, but then it just kind of popped. There we go. There we go. Oof. All right, we just made about, I don't know how much we made. We made 400 or 500. Still taking a little bit of time. There's the low. A lot of stuff's looking weak, to be honest, still. I'm gonna try to add to the bottom here. Very risky idea though. I wouldn't copy me. Actually, we're gonna get out right there and make $150. Yeah, we only need like 400 bucks on this to get funded in this one, and then we're gonna switch to our regular one. So I'm gonna switch to micro contracts here, chat, and I'm gonna leave some of my levels up because some of these levels have been really helping me, and so let's draw. Still flushing down towards these lows. All right. Finally getting a rebound back up. I don't know if I want to short into this or not. Okay, we'll try. And then we'll add. All right. Made a little bit more. All right. 15. We got 15 contracts here. We're gonna take our biggest risk of the positions here, but it's up a lot though. Eesh. Yeah, you don't love to see it. I mean, we ended up still very green on the day, but maybe took a little bit too micros at the wrong time. All right, we're gonna switch to our funded account. We had enough fun with this one. It's taking too much time. All right, so we're gonna keep micros up. but we're going to trade very small. Let me remove the size here. And we're kind of choppy. I think the market might stay choppy leading into everything too. All right, so we just made about 100 on our other funded account here. It's really hard to tell if we get anything good right now just based off of the chop that we're getting. We could just kind of reject and come back down to. We're right at the 200 exponential average. All right, so we're testing this big resistance level that we got up here. See if we creep up now. It looks like the market wants to go up, but it's also stagnating up here too. So I'll show you what I made on my other account here. Let me pull this up. So yeah. So we ended up making 95 plus 20 here. You can kind of see that. I don't know what else I want to do with this though. I guess we'll keep trading this one, but we got this one up now. We'll play with this one now too. This is taking too long. We're right at the 200 exponential. If we do go green on the day, I think we might get choppiness personally, but I might be wrong. We got ISM Services PMI. We got the regular services PMI coming out in about a minute. 1 minute for the regular services PMI. This one is expected, chat, at 49.7. It drops in 1 minute. So 49.7. Again, it drops in 1 minute. 45 seconds now. We've made a little bit of money on a couple different accounts. All right, guys. So here's the data release. Let's see what it shows. And right, 3, 2, 1. Now, waiting for services PMI to populate here. Are they a little late on services PMI? It looks like they are. Yeah, they're late for some reason on services PMI. I don't know why. Weird. All right, so 52.7 is what it showed up as. 52.7 is what it showed up as. Or no, this is manufacturing PMI. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Services PMI 50.6. No, that's European data. I'm sorry, guys. 51 is what it showed up as. Stronger services sector than expected at 51. Man, I kept getting it wrong. 51 is what it showed up as. It was a little delayed. But I'll put this up on screen. 51 for services PMI. The big one shows up at 10 a.m. though. I'll put this up in chat. The big one shows up at 10 a.m. Yeah, the big one shows up in about 14 minutes or so. And again, I don't know if we're going to get choppiness or what. I really don't. Could be a choppy, volatile day. I really don't know what we're going to get. There's the market flushing big quickly, too. Oof. What a drop. I'm going to buy this up a little bit. It's a little risky to buy this up, but I'm just betting on choppiness. I'll add a little bit to this too, but the market's just turning. I'm going to have to cut this. Yeah, what a drop so fast. We lost about $70. We're still net profit on our actual funded accounts. We were up 110 on one account, down 80 in the other one. I don't know what this big drop all of a sudden happened from. We got the Bank of England's green says, I believe the disinflationary process is broadly on track and inflation persistence has been slowly fading in part thanks to our restrictive stance in monetary policy, is what he said. We got the Bank of England. Taylor saying we probably have a bit more of an output gap than Bank of England's February MPR. As to not lose too much on this account, we are going to switch accounts now. I try to use some risk management, but again, I'm thinking like the reason I'm thinking I'm going to buy this is because if we do get choppiness leading into services, there we go. We'll add into this, take that off, lock the rest in. So we just made about 30 bucks. If we do get choppiness, then we're going to increase. There we go. All right, so we just made a good bit there too. So we're basically pretty green on the day based on all these accounts. One account we're up about 170, the other account we're down 80, so we're up about 100 net. I'm gonna switch out of this account, lock this profit in, and then go to a different one. And this is one we lost a little bit on last time, I think. Yeah. I was gonna buy this again too, but 10 minutes left. You know what? We'll try to play this. We gotta be careful. We're trading against the momentum here, though. ISM service data drops in 10 minutes, chat. Trying to bet on this. There's 3 contracts. Yeah, we're gonna take half off there. Take the other half. We'll see if we bounce at 350, but I wanted to leave this one a little bit more time. Try to add to the green. Yeah, we're too close to lows. We got to cut it. Moderna exec says quite large revenue opportunity is coming up somewhere. I think I'm going to wait and trade more after. See, there's the bounce we wanted, but I think I'm going to wait and trade more after we get the services data come out in 9 minutes here. It's just too risky to trade right now. I'm not really feeling the market like I should be, so. All right, so we just made about $500 in a different one here. I'll show you guys this one. Here's a funded account, and this is the history that we've made today. We just made about 250 plus 95, so we made about 4. You can kind of see this profit here. I always break my rules. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to trade anymore, and then I do anyway. So not bad. Let's see what the rest gives us on the day here. I'm kind of going back and forth, to be honest. Couple minutes left here, chat. Like, our thesis was correct, though. Well, my thesis is this, guys, just to put it into perspective how I made this. So, okay, we got ISM services data coming live at 10 a.m., right? We got ISM services data coming live at 10 a.m. A lot of the time leading into these economic reports were choppy. And so we have this trend so far. What's the continuation of a choppy trend? Heading up. Right, so we ended up buying down here, taking a big risk though, and this is an account that we've been down on anyway, so like we can take big risks, and betting that the choppiness would continue, which it did, and riding it up, and so that's how we were able to make. We're up about 604 on the day on this account, so far so good. All right, guys, we got 7 minutes left. Nvidia's starting to rebound back up too. Look at that red candle coming through here. Yeah, I've got a bunch of different accounts. All right, so we're testing this low. We got 6 minutes left. We're too close to lows for me to be super optimistic on the upside, though. And so my hands are off now. I'm going to probably just sit on the rest of this $600 gain and not mess with it too much. Maybe we're starting to test lows. We're getting really close. This last like 350 level is kind of a line in the sand. Look at this breakdown here. Wow. Massive red coming in ahead of ISM services. Now, do we bounce at the bottom and continue the choppy trend? It depends on what Nvidia does. Nvidia's still flushing down. Meta breaking down. A lot of stuff's falling down some. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. So, yeah, look at that. We did bounce here. At this 320 low. Let's see if it holds. It's a big candlestick, though. Again, my hands are kind of off right now, especially so close to this report. And again, we are day trading on Top Step's funded account program right now. So they give you a demo, they test your skill with a demo account. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $50 basically for the base one. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make $3,000 in profit without losing $2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you. Great way to learn how to day trade, because most day traders lose. And I think that's the same regardless of where you go. Most day traders are going to lose. It's a lot cheaper to lose here, though, than it is to put up 5, 10, 20, 30 grand and lose that, which is what happens to a lot of day traders. The PDT rule makes you not able to day trade if you have less than 25K in a margin account. You can't day trade more than 3 times a week. It's a ridiculous rule. Most of you guys should be trying futures instead. Futures market gets you around the PDT rule. And again, Top Steps funded account program gives you kind of a middle ground of pressure. 50K demo account, if you can make 3K without losing 2K following their rules, and it teaches you how to trade. They fund you 50K with a 90% split. They've paid out almost $200 million. And in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, some currencies. So a lot of Forex traders should be trading here too. And if you fail, you're out $50. And there's a practice account you can use afterwards with real-time data. So the values there just make sense. If you use my link and go to TopStepX, there's 0 commission as well. There's the link right there if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel. Though they are an affiliate of mine, I am biased because I get paid by them. So I'm biased, of course. All right, so we just cracked lows. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. We just cracked lows. Look at this breakdown here, chat. Yeah, and even though my levels might work, it doesn't mean we're always going to hold. Like, I have too many levels for us to always hold over and under it. But we can confirm it like this level here. Like, look at that confirmation right there. And this one, we just dumped right through it. I might have to lower this a little bit. Yeah, well, that's close enough, I think. Look at that. That's some weakness showing up. Listen, guys, we got 2.5 minutes here. 2.5 minutes. I don't know what the market wants. I think we showed economic weakness and we've been breaking down, and I think the market might be fearful right now. I think we're back to normal, where good is good and bad is bad, but I might be wrong. The VIX is high. People fear economic weakness right now. Payroll numbers showed up weak, and so I think lower is worse, higher is better, but I might be wildly wrong about this. Again, I might be wildly wrong. We got 2 minutes left, chat. 2 minutes left. Yeah, VIX is popping. It's at 20, almost 25s right now. Microsoft still breaking down. It's at 389s. All right, guys, we got 1 minute left, chat. 1 minute left. Again, expectations, 52.5. Expectations are 52.5. You can see the numbers right below me here. 52.5, 10 a.m. Let's see what we get. Again, I think the market wants stronger economic report because of all the weakness going on, but I also think the market wants rate cuts, so I think it could be backwards too. I don't think this one's necessarily predictable. I think it could go either way. We got 40 seconds left, chat. 40 seconds. Expected at 52.5, 52.5. This timer's a little bit early. 30 seconds. All right, 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 5 seconds, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report. 53.5, stronger than expected. 53.5 versus 52.5 expected. Prices were higher, though. But look at the market react favorably to this. I called it a little bit early, too. 53.5 versus 52.5 expected. Stronger than expected for ISM services. 52.5 versus 52, or 53.5 versus 52.5 expected. Stronger than expected here. And the market likes it, which is kind of what I thought. I thought we were back to kind of good as good. We also had durable good, core durable good orders. We had services data come in. But yeah, the market likes it, which is not a shock. I mean, the market's down. The VIX is high. People are fearful. And in fearful economies, the market wants stronger economic reports. Sometimes the first move is the wrong move, though. You do want to understand that. Sometimes the first move is the wrong move. So just be careful. But so far, so good. We showed up again at 53.5 versus 52.5 expected. And the market did react positively to this. Again, 53.5 versus 52.5 I told you guys I thought ISM Services was a big report today. Market has so far reacted very positively to this report. There's the data right there, 53.5 versus 52.5 expected. Again, sometimes the first move is the wrong move, and bond yields spiked a little bit on this as well. ISM Services is strength or weaknesses in the services sector. So higher means stronger services sector. Almost everything's considered a service too, so it's just strength or weakness in the services sector. This shows a stronger services sector than expected. And in that regard, market's ripping up. That's what this is. Yep, market likes it. All right, look at the market start to turn a little bit here, though. Whew, I don't know whether I want to buy it or not. I guess I do, but who knows? Whew. On that funded account, I am up over $1,000 today on this funded account. I'll show you guys my trades. And again, what I did here, guys, is I built up a cushion, and then I put that cushion to work. Look at this P&L here. And so again, today I am up almost 1,000 on this fund, or I'm up over 1,000. I'm up $1,074.20. And again, the way I did this is I built up a cushion first, a small cushion, right? So I use micro contracts and futures. I make tiny gains, little small but steady gains. I can use small size on Top Step X because there's zero commission. And so I take small size and I slowly but surely build up a profit. I originally built up about $160 in profit with small size. Once I did that, I waited for deep edge. And again, the way I made this last bit of money is I bought this dip after a strong services report. Because we pulled back a little bit in services. The market's fearful right now. But again, I made small size, built up $150, $160 cushion. And then once I did that, I was able to take larger, like full mini contracts and take larger risk. I built up a $600 cushion. And then I said, well, screw it. I'm already up $600. If I'm going to take a big risk, today's the day because I've got this huge cushion. So even if I take a big risk and fail, I'm still green, most likely at least. And so that's what I did. I ended up being up almost $1,100, which is my largest daily gain on a funded account in a minute. You can see all the trades here. You love to see it. And yeah, I'll take it. So a couple people are asking me a couple different things. Hold on one second, guys. But yeah, so I'll take it. That's good. Yeah, so look at the market rip up. It's testing these highs. All right, so now we're pulling back some here. All right, sorry guys. I might end up making a clip. I might end up making a clip from this. I'm trying to All right, so market's still testing that high. All right, guys. All right, let me unmute the music here. Yeah, no, I was making a short. All right, so look at the market pump up too. Yields are up. Again, my thesis was correct, which is that people ask me, what does the market want on services? And I told people I thought the market wanted stronger services. Why does the market want stronger services? Because we got looming fear all around finance right now. The market fears everything. The VIX is almost at 25. Market's fearful. Everybody's panicking. So, yeah. Again, I'll take the big gains today. I'll take it. And yeah, y'all be safe today, guys. Y'all be safe. Tomorrow we got jobless claims. I'm going to get out of here. Again, I'm going to get out of here. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose. And so instead of risking thousands of dollars, you can instead try a funded account program. If you fail, you're out $50. It's a souped up demo account, basically. If you were going to pay for a demo account with real-time data, it'd probably cost similar amounts. And if you fail, you get a practice account anyway, so the value's there. If you pass it, you get a $50K funded account, 90% split. They've paid out almost $200 million. Been around for over 12 years or almost 12 years, something like that, man. I think it's over 12 years. And again, a great way to learn how to day trade. Kind of, they give you a demo. It's a 3-to-2 ratio. You got to make 3K without losing 2K. Reasonable. You got other rules you got to follow, and they're an affiliate of mine, so I'm biased, but it really does teach you how to day trade. If you want to check it out, there's the link. Again, one of my biggest days in a long time. We are up $1,074 today on a funded account, so that's good. Hey, I appreciate the love. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Understand all this stuff on screen right now. CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance. Have limitations, guys. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Jobless claims, unemployment tomorrow. Guys, jobless claims, unemployment. I'll be here 8:30. Be ready. I'll see you guys then.